I congratulate Dr. Shibu Jaran, Dr. Mansingh Pawar and their colleagues, and you all who have come together.
Printing world was actually a concept we started in the year 2014. In fact, we then built an opportunity around this technology.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to connect with you all to be a part of this wonderful session. 3D Graphy engineering, 3D printing, and 3D visualization for maritime and shipbuilding for the year 2022. Just to brief you all, 3D Graphy is a platform that we have designed in the year 2015, and the core agenda and the intent was to educate, train, and also update senior respondents and also the community, and from the educational space as well as the research, and also the end users who would actually be able to procure this technology. So 3D technology has various aspects to it. 3D technology includes 3D printings, 3D scanning, 3D imaging, 3D materials, the material, 3D visualization, AR and VR is also gaining a lot of traction, and also simulation, because today reverse engineering, scanning, and simulation is a part of the exercise to make things more convenient and very sturdy free in terms of ensuring that the part is being manufactured. And today when we talk about digital age and digital manufacturing 4.0, 3D printing has a great to offer when it comes to customized manufacturing. So we are not competing with the conventional manufacturing space. We can't, because CNC and machining will stay for long. But we are two sides of the coin. So 3D technology is being taken seriously in industries like medical, dental, aerospace, and defense, wherein you're not looking at too many large manufacturing, mass manufacturing. But when it comes to customized manufacturing, maritime and shipbuilding is also gaining a lot of traction, because if there are redundant parts and if you really need to replace it, going through the conventional method would be a big of a challenge. So 3D Graphy as a consortium, we have experts, researchers, scientists, 3D technology companies, all of us who have come together in union, working together to promote and proliferate this technology in the country. We've been doing that for the last 8 years, and we have almost 38 events that we have conducted in the last 8 years. In these pandemic times, let me also update you that last 2 years, we have also done some 18 odd events on various different sectors. And this is a great privilege for us to actually have hosted the Maritime and Shipping event, because this is something that we also thought we'll need to touch upon. And such a privilege to have the senior respondent in the epitome, Shri Amitabh Kumar, the DG Shipping, who has joined us from representing the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. So thank you so much for your presence, and we will need to inaugurate the session with your kind words, sir, and then we will start the session subsequently. Thank you so much,
sir. Thanks, Dr. John. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and thanks for having me in today's session. 3D printing, 3D graphic engineering is one sector that is being looked at very closely by the maritime sector. I may say with a lot of anticipation, because it it is likely to solve a lot of problems that the ships uh, face today, especially during long voyages. Repair and maintenance for a vessel is a necessary requirement, and a lot of time, effort, and manpower goes into the repairs and maintenance only when the vessels are operating. IMO is looking into induction of new technology in the maritime sector. And induction of new technology is one of the stated strategic directions of IMO for the next 5 years. A lot of discussion is happening in terms of induction of technology for reduction of environment pollution, but also simultaneous discussions are happening for increasing efficiency, for ease of doing business, and for safety and security of the ships and the seafarers working on it. It is needless to dwell upon the benefits that this new technology is going to bring once it gets inducted in the maritime sector. Of course, it requires a lot of discussions between the pioneers of this technology, the users of the technology in the maritime sector, the recognized organizations who would be responsible for approving the technology for usage in the maritime sector, and
We have lost him.
Yeah, Wing
Yeah.
Commander Raman Suporiji, if you kindly can you take the stage on to introduce the gentleman, and then in the meantime, I will also get Amitabh ji on board. Thank you so much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Wish you all a happy new year. We have started today's event on use and application of 3D printing into shipping and naval warfare business. The business size is very, very large. I have the full data, which I'll share with you at the end of the day. We have with us DG Shipping, Mr. Amitabh Kumar. He is coming online very soon. We have Commodore. Kindly raise your hands, those whom I'm calling. Mr. Commodore Naresh Kumar, Commodore Anil Jay Singh, and Commodore Jitendra, and our friend from Norway. I'm not able to read your name. If you can unmute yourself. What is the temperature in Norway today, sir? Ambient temperature?
It's below zero. So
Oh, I am in
yeah.
Gurgaon at 8 degrees
Generally this week,
Celsius, and the people in the south must be enjoying with the heat wave there. And we have other gentlemen. Please introduce. The screen is for you to just speak one sentence about each of you, what you expect from the audience and the session. Please, each one of you, in any order whatsoever. What is the takeaway you see from the session today, end of the day? Please. Anybody
I can. Yes, I
Please.
can begin. Yes, thank you. So I see India has great potential and the need 3D printing technology. Everybody is curious and enthusiastic, and I would see that every one of us attending here become an ambassador of this technology and pass on the benefits using the knowledge that they will gain today.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, seems like there's a glitch from Amitabh sir's end. But in the meantime, also shortly introducing Dr. Sastry. Doctor actually is a researcher and also a scientist who's actually worked on additive manufacturing for classification in shipbuilding. So that's something very new, and I think it was a great engaging exercise for Indian research Indian register shipping to also see the opportunity and fall in line for classification for additive manufacturing. As Amitabh ji also mentioned about the need for getting this parts being certified is a key for taking the course forward, because anything, it has to be going through a process. And I'm sure with your presentation, Doctor, there'll be a lot of insights coming through this session in terms of best practices world over in Europe and other countries, and how India can take this course forward in terms of learning from this particular technology. So thank you so much, Doctor, for your presence. I think the technical sessions will actually lead us to the way. In the meantime, let me introduce you all to Mr. Praful, who is Shinde, who is a company who is actually launched this technology in the country. So we're very proud of companies who have really working on indigenous technologies and ensuring that how these technologies can offer solutions for Indian respondents who are looking at solutions in each of the sector. Primarily, I think BFW has done some great work. It's been there in the industry for the last 6 decades, offering engineering and tooling services, conventionally in machining and various other solutions. And now with 3D printing in DED, I'm sure, Mr. Praful, there'll be a lot of offerings for this technology, having an indigenous setup in the country.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Chief guest, Sri Amitabh Kumar, DG Shipping, all the dignitaries on stage, Dr. Shibu John, and all the participants. At the outset, let me wish all of you a very happy, healthy, and successful 2022. And thank you, Trinity Media, 3D Graphy, and Dr. Shibu John for having BFW as a presenting sponsor for this prestigious and inspiring knowledge share event on 3D technology to marine and shipbuilding industry. World of manufacturing is at inflection point of disruptive changes. IoT-enabled smart manufacturing, connected manufacturing, digitalization, not the least, 3D printing are rapidly shaping the future of manufacturing globally. 3D technology, as you all know, is slated to grow at 25% CAGR over the next decade, from current 18 billion to about 146 billion industry worldwide. Metal additive printing is slated to grow at 25% CAGR over the next decade. The applications are, of course, space technology, spare parts supply chain, defense, all the three arms, Air Force, Navy, Army, marine and maritime industries, oil and gas, dye and mold, and so many other segments. And India is not going to be an exception here. Atmanirbhar Bharat, the flagship initiative of the government, will create significant opportunities and for private industries also to participate and play a very key role in success of this initiative. BFW, our purpose is enabling progress of manufacturing over the last 60 years. The leading industry player for machine tools and manufacturing solutions, we have decided to play a very significant role in large-scale transition of 3D printing from the traditional niche segments to industrial applications. We will do this by DED technology deployment through diverse machines, developing applications, by building partnerships both on the private and public side, helping the skill development side, and overall help to evolve a robust ecosystem. I think today's knowledge share session is going to be an important milestone for maritime and ship industry in terms of laying a roadmap for additive manufacturing to play a very meaningful role in this segment. I wish this event all the best. I again thank organizers for giving us an opportunity to participate And I wish all the best. Have a great day. Thank you.
Inputs, and also it will be very interesting to have Ashok Verma also share some of his expertise in this area, because Ashok Verma is the executive vice president with BFW, and also someone who is actually who will be responsible for additive manufacturing in the country, and also an experienced respondent in additive manufacturing for almost last 15 to 20 years. So that will come in the course, while we will also have the technical session. May I also now introduce Commodore Jitendran sir to share his insights of what is expected of this technology. He is the ex-CMD from Cochin Shipyard, and somebody who has been in the space for almost last 3 to 4 decades, almost 3.5 4 decades, serving the Indian shipbuilding space. Thank you so much, sir. May I have your inputs on the subject?
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I'm very happy to be here and to see my old friends introducing a new technology. During my 40 years with shipbuilding and ship repair, I recall 3 or 4 game changers, as is the new coin word. And what were those game changers? Well, I did my IIT and engineering with log tables and slide rule. So when it came to even shipbuilding, the strength calculation used to take 15 days, which the computer now does in about few seconds. So I would say the first game changer was uh, the computer. But the computer which was first introduced was so big, the size of a building, and it took 3 days to approach it. But still, it remained a game changer because it was introduced and we stuck with it. And today, it is inconceivable to think of shipbuilding or design without 3D uh, computer, 3D design. So that was one big game changer. In the supply chain management also, which is very important when it comes to shipbuilding and ship repair. Some game changers were like aggregation of all the parts that are required to build a ship, and some of those companies which were very famous in South Korea and others, they made shipbuilding like assembling a car or something like that, and completely made it a game changer. The number of ships that could be produced just multiplied in 1 year. So this was another supply chain technology, which again was based on computers, and other stakeholders were also involved, like the owners, the regulators, the quality. So because when a ship is ordered and it is designed, the supply chain is fixed. The equipment and everything that's going inside is also fixed. So when I was asked to join this uh, initiative, I was very happy that maybe could be another big game changer for the future. But I do hope that all stakeholders, are involved in that, so that it doesn't just, fizzle away without realizing its potential. Involving all stakeholders, including regulators, safety, environment, other issues, is a must. Otherwise, in a field like shipbuilding, shipping, uh, it is very traditional. It's been around for thousands of years. Die hard, concepts are stuck in the mind. Don't really change easily. Once you are very sure something is safe and reliable, you just don't want to look at anything else. So I only hope that this initiative which is taken today will make sure that we introduce it in the right way. Thank you.
Commodore Jitendran, for your input, sir. And coming from the end user side is also very, very important for us to know that how this technology can benefit. And I'm sure for the day session that we have planned, each of these aspects will be addressed going forward, because since we also have respondents from both validation and classification, we also have people who have technically sound in terms of how this technology can benefit when it comes to efficiency in terms of cost, speed, and also reliability, because these are parts which can be lighter and it can be also with a good tensile strength. So all of that will be addressed in the course of our day session. And towards the end, ladies and gentlemen, we will also have a panel discussion to draw conclusion from each of these sessions that we've learned through the day, and also then have these recommendations being collected as inputs coming from all the experts to be shared with the concerned authorities. And as Commodore Jitendran sort of did mention, that the intention is always to see that everybody and all the stakeholders come together on a platform like these. So there's a good learning, understanding, and also there are measures that needs to be also taken from the government side and the policy side. So all of that has been taken into consideration, and I think consortiums was clearly vision, as in the vision was always to see that all of these is addressed. So may I now invite the next key respondent, Commodore Naresh Kumar ji, who is also the ex CMD with Hindustan Shipyard, with his inputs, and quickly to share the other respondents' background. They will all be present in our panel discussion for a very detailed version of their inputs, so that we can start the session at 10:40 with the technical space that we will also need to be updated. So thanks so much, gentlemen, and you can still be in touch and also connected throughout the day, because it's a very interactive platform for all of us to engage. Slightly different from Zoom, you have these meeting rooms, you have lobbies, you have lounge, wherein people can connect with each other, exchange notes. It's really an interactive platform that we've seen that has been there built. So it's a licensed platform that we've been able to execute and actively see that and how it could be benefiting. So may I invite you, sir, please? Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. And thank you, Dr. Shivu, for having me on this panel. As Commodore Jitendran mentioned, SHIP is a very, very complex platform. And those who have been to a naval warship or even a large merchant ship, there are large number of equipment and systems apart from the structures which are there in the ship. And invariably, if you have to repair a ship, I have been in the naval dockyard for about 7 years plus in Bombay as well as Vizag, and then in HSL for another 5 years repairing and oil rigs and building ships. See, invariably for ship repair, you will end up in a problem when you have to reverse engineer a part, because that part is not available in the spares inventory and the ship need to be made ready. A very simple example I can give you: when I was in Bombay dockyard, we were repairing Russian submarines, and a simple item like a rubber seal, which is a large variety of rubber seals are used in the EKM submarine, in the pipe fittings and so many places. They were not easily available, and then we had to indigenize them, and we made hundreds of dies in the naval dockyards, and then we did the injection molding and got these seals made in India in the naval dockyards, which was a very complex and difficult process in those days. Today with 3D printing, possibly you can do it so easily and do it more efficiently, and make them in-house. Similarly, there are so many complex parts in the ship. For example, if you take a sonar dome, it has got such a geometry which is very complex in shape, and it's very difficult to manufacture this with conventional techniques. And 3D printing, 3D graphy can easily enhance this process and make very good designs in sonar domes, whether it is fiberglass or whether it is rubber domes. And another requirement which comes very frequently in ship repair is the in situ repair. In situ repair, you have to carry a tool or a robot or whatever it is to do the repairs on the spot. For example, submarine motor cannot be lifted from the submarine. It has to be repaired inside the submarine itself. And there are so many other machining requirements in the ship repair where you cannot take the item out. For example, the whole gas turbines lifting is a big problem. So maybe turbine blades need to be replaced. So turbine blades again or a propeller need to be repaired. These are very, very complex geometries, and it is lifting them from the ship and taking it outside for repair is a very, very difficult job. So in situ repair using 3D tools now will definitely simplify the process and do the job more efficiently. As far as building is concerned, shipbuilding, it's a very, very complex project, as I said. And to build the models for testing, you can do 3D printing to make a ship model exactly as per the 3D design from the CAD files. And there are enormous applications, as I can see today, both in shipbuilding and ship repairs. And Indian industry is making a big headway, whatever little I have read recently. And there are good industry partners present in this forum. They will be able to do much more than what we can really imagine, because this awareness is not still there in the shipyards. The shipbuilding yards in the country are possibly not even aware with what all 3D techniques can be used to do either parts repairs in situ or reverse engineer, or even making a new parts of complex shapes. So with these comments, I welcome all of you, and we will learn a lot in today's deliberations. And in the end, we can make some conclusions, positive conclusions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inputs, and I'm sure the session will actually justify and also give a clear update on what is new happening, because I think we need to be updated with the latest information on the technology, and we will definitely do our justice in terms of doing that, because we know that there are some great experts who will be coming and sharing the insights, starting with Mr. Verma, who will also be sharing his experience and also about the technology. Now, I would not like to miss an opportunity to welcome Mr. Ram Prasad, who is actually one of the key respondents, who has been in the media space, promoting maritime and shipbuilding to an extent. And Mr. Ram Prasad, we are very happy to have him also a part of this event, to also see that how there can be a proper communication panel that can be designed to promote this in the shipbuilding and the maritime industry. So it's a privilege to have him on board. But is Mr. Ram Prasad there or I think I have lost his connection maybe. Yeah, so thank you so much, gentlemen. And let me also thank Commander Singh, who is also one of the key respondents of this technology, who want to learn and understand the technology, how it can definitely benefit the Navy. Specifically, he is an ex-Navy and also a senior fellow with ADCI. Commodore Singh sir, please, your words, and then we can start.
Good morning once again. I know time is at a premium, and we're looking forward to listening to all the industry experts and other experts on the subject. So I'll just be very brief. I'll just highlight two aspects. Firstly, the importance of the maritime domain. For the world, more than 90% of global trade travels over the sea, and ship transportation remains the cleanest, safest, and most economical mode of transporting goods from one place to another. To just give an example, one crude carrier of one ship carrying crude oil would need to be if it were to be transported by train, would require more than 25,000 bogies, tanker bogies. So that's the sort of scale we are talking of. For India particularly, 90% of our trade by volume travels over the sea. 80% of our energy travels over the sea. So the maritime domain is extremely important for us. And the more we rely on foreign platforms for this, the more we are going to be strategically vulnerable in times of crisis. Therefore, we need to build up our own shipbuilding industry and our own shipbuilding capability to be able to have more Indian bottoms transporting strategic and critical Indian supplies. India's share of the global shipbuilding market at the moment is less than 1%. Even Indian shipping companies are ordering the ships from abroad. Now, this is a situation which needs to be addressed very seriously by the government. And I think one of the highlights of the Maritime Vision 2030, which was unveiled by the by the Prime Minister in March this year, was about enhancing India's shipbuilding capacity from global share of less than 0.5% to 5%. Now, this is all very well to say, but are we really going about it the right way? That is one of the things we need to understand. And I think technology will play an extremely important role in being able to achieve these kind of ambitious targets. We have failed in the past, but we must not fail again. And therefore, the Industrial Revolution may have left India behind in the last century, but in the Industrial Revolution 4.0, which is all about technology, is I think a place where India can really leapfrog into the front ranks because of its strength as an IT country. We are an IT intensive country, and I think with less and less investment having to be made in capital expenses on setting up shipyards, buying expensive machinery, using technology effectively, these disruptive technologies, we can leapfrog into the front rank. So I think in the course of the day, we'll be discussing more on this, and perhaps in the panel discussion, this will come up for discussion. That's all I have to say, is that we need to quickly and effectively harness these energies, harness these technologies for our shipbuilding and ship repair sector. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commodore Singh Saab, for your inputs, and I'm sure that's the way forward. And I can see the energies that you have in store in terms of sharing this. And there is a great potential, sir. And we need to have indigenously build these platforms. So there are some companies also who are doing their bit in the country, and they're all our 3D Graphy associate corporate members in the community. And that's how we can translate and information rightly and also connect with the right chords. Thank you so much for your input, sir. And before taking much of your time, let me take the entire team and the participants. Now we've seen that this is going live stream, and we've also connecting with many of them from the shipbuilding and the ports industry. And many ship repair companies have also connected. So I think it will be a good start for us to engage in this. And I'm sure towards the end, as you rightly said, the panel discussion and the conclusion will definitely help us to take the course forward. I just spoke to Amitabh sir, and he did mention that he is actually now traveling. So he has his chief surveyor also join in, and they will be taking these inputs also. And I'm sure it will be a great session to have each of their inputs being shared, and as well as the recommendation that will go from our end. Thank you so much. So now I will not take much time. I would rather dwell upon the technical sessions, which will be actually shared by Mr. Ashok Verma, who is the Executive Vice President with BFW, and also he's a global expert with his expertise for last 2 decades. We will now to close this session, and we'll want to go to the technical session, gentlemen. So that is session 1. So you just need to log out of this session, and then we can straight away log into the session 1, and then we will have the first keynote speaker, Mr. Ashok Verma, share his insight.